the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM 106.5 Philly. Locked in today, all the way from the DMV. Cat, my little sis, Kanika Tolver, author of Life, Rehab, Don't Overdose on Pain, People, and Power. Sound like a lock song to me, right? The Money Power Respect situation going down out here. Real quick, so I know, listen, this time goes by so fast, but there's a couple things I want to speak to you about. And I'd love the opportunity for you to talk to our listeners about the 5 things they need to do to land a great job out of college. It is college season. Philly is a humongous college town. So some of our listeners out there probably want that information. Talk to them.
The first tip I would say is to apply to relevant internships. Try to, if you can, align your college degree with an internship that kind of fits into the area of your degree, because it's going to be beneficial for you getting, like, you know, your first full-time job in your actual industry. Make sure that you establish your brand online. A lot of times people come out of college don't think they have a brand because they kind of just a fresh college student. But make sure you create those job board accounts. Make sure you create your LinkedIn account. Make sure you focus in on leveraging the little things you may do as an office clerk and make it relatable to the field that you actually are trying to get into. Yeah. Number 3 is to stuff your resume with relevant keywords. Stuff it. Like, I mean, you have to bleed these relevant keywords all over your resume. So if you're in IT, when I was in IT, fresh out of college, I made sure that any IT-related current buzzwords or things that were in the job announcements, they were just all over my resume to make the recruiter feel like, you know, I was qualified for the interview. Make recruiters your best friend. I think a lot of times college doesn't really teach you that. We assume that you're going to get a job just off of attending job fairs, but make recruiters on LinkedIn your best friends. So search for, if you're trying to get into Google or say you're trying to get into Microsoft, search for Google recruiter. They'll come up on LinkedIn and connect with them and introduce yourself to them on LinkedIn. If you're African American or you're any minority, make diversity inclusion managers and recruiters your friend, because they have to get, you know, a certain amount of minorities within their company, so you can try to get in that way.
To the pipeline, yeah. So why not connect with them? So
connect with them on LinkedIn, look them up, just DM them and send them a direct message and just introduce them to yourself and see if you can have a quick chat with them. You know, attach your resume and make that connection. Number 5, of course, is what I just kind of said, is build your introduction message. The same way we DM people on Instagram and on Facebook, we have to learn how to strategically develop an introduction message of ourselves to recruiters, to hiring managers, to industry leaders that can actually help us.
I love it.
Yep, that's it.
I love it. All right, college students, there's no excuse now. It's almost like you just read Life, Rehab real quick. All right, look, all right, I know we're closing out, and we promised people that we were going to address this topic.
Right.
We promised people, when I put this out on Twitter yesterday, they went bananas. People wanted to hear about how somebody goes from employee to empowered. Talk to us, please.
The first thing, and I had a few notes before I came here, before I left the hotel. I'm just going to be really, like, candid about these things. You got to say rest in peace to career confusion. In order for you to really to be empowered, you're going to have to stop being confused about what you want to do. Because a lot of times people want to do these things, but they're like, you know, they really don't know, they're not sure. So try to get some clarity on really what's your next direction to be empowered. One of the things that I think is so important to be empowered is to invest in yourself. You can't be empowered and feel strong if you feel like you're lacking in certain areas. So if you're in a position where you can get training through your job, you know, rate their budget. Take whatever you can get that's going to benefit you, and try to align the training that you take with the next step that you have in mind. So I know for me, when I was in corporate, I already knew that there were certain trainings that I knew that I wanted them to pay for that would help me get into the next tax bracket, or help me get into a company that I would feel more comfortable doing a new role in. So always be thinking about the next step and try to get what you can get from the job. The next thing to feel empowered is to connect with the right people that can actually help you. You need to stop dealing with toxic coworkers, toxic people in your life. You have to kind of align yourself with people that can help you. and also people that are going in the same direction that you're going into. How can you feel empowered and encouraged if you're dealing with people that are all they're doing is holding you down?
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. You know, I just, in hearing you speak and kind of looking through your content, you're really clear on individualization, like not letting people influence your mission. Where'd that come from? Like, how like, am I correct on that?
I think, I mean, I never heard somebody say that before, but I may have heard people say it, but I like the word you use.
Okay.
You know, I think.
And you know what? And it could also be like you were speaking about, like, so 5 years from now, 5 years ago, you were this, but you're morphing into the message.
Yes.
And I think it's so empowering, and that's why I wanted to speak about it.
I think you have to get to a point where you live your truth. And I'm at a point in my life, I don't care what nobody has to think about me or what they have to say about me. I'm at a point where I really feel like your personal brand and your career brand somewhat has to be aligned.
Sure.
And if it's aligned, people will be able to see the real from the fake. They'll be able to see, you know, are you really a subject matter expert or not?
Right.
They'll really be able to see, are you constantly trying to learn and craft your brand or your knowledge? And at this point, I think when you become comfortable with being yourself, you're really unstoppable within your business ideas, within your career, goals, within your relationships with other people. And we're in a place where, with digital age and social media, that being authentic is just like the new thing. But it ain't new to me, but it's new to a lot of people. But it's not really new to me. And I think because my mom always taught us, be yourself, never take the back to nobody. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Growing up, hearing that over and over in my head, like, you don't have to wear, if she wearing Jordans, you don't gotta wear Jordans, wear the Adidas. You know what I'm saying? So I just think those are the things that my mom built me and my sister to be very strong and independent. And she was just like, don't be a follower. If if anything, follow someone that's going in the direction you're trying to go in. But don't be a follower if the crowd going this way. You got to go that way just because.
Outstanding. You bring up some valid points, because I think the key to career decision is very rooted in people following people, or career. I guess
moves or
I don't want to say decision, but indecision. Because a lot of times people finish school and they go the direction that their mother told them to go, or they go the direction their father told them to go.
Right.
When they knew that wasn't exactly what their lane, but they're like, well, they told me to take the job at the post office. You know what I mean? Like, and nothing against anybody at the post office. Just saying, like, that's the thing you get from sometimes.
That's the life of my story, because when I really look at it, a lot of times people in the DC area, they only take a government job, because grandma worked in the government, mama worked in the government. It's the only stable thing you can get, baby. If you don't go to the military or you don't get your government job, you're not going to really be successful in life. And I think that you're basically, in my new book, I had this chapter called, Big City, Small Dreams. And I'm thinking like, wow, DC is such a big city, but a lot of people are so small-minded. A lot of people don't even realize that they can do anything they want to do, and they don't have to just work for the government. And they can do other things. Like, if you want to work for a Fortune 500 company, if you want to have your own business, you can do whatever you want. And I agree with you. I think we live in a society where people play it safe too much.
And then they regret it in the back end.
Right. And they complain and they're upset. Their life is a mess because
you chose to go that route.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of courage. Even for me to walk away from my 6-figure government job, that's a lot of courage.
Well, courage is what career success is about.
Yeah.
It's the risk.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can't see it until you get in it. I always tell people I didn't even know what diversity recruiting was until I had the opportunity to be a diversity recruiter. Like somebody gave me the opportunity, and I was like, oh, okay.
So you didn't realize that diversity was an issue within a workplace?
So no, I knew it was an issue. I didn't know that they had recruiters
that
specified
it. Right.
I didn't know that.
Right.
You're a recruiter,
okay.
And on the low, you just start like, I got you.
Right.
Like, yeah, so and that's what we were doing. And then I worked in markets where they were very diverse markets.
Okay.
So
you didn't really, you didn't.
We were doing it anyway. Yeah,
right.
But we just didn't know this is what it was. And then eventually you're like, oh, you know what? This diversity recruitment thing, this is the lane we need to be in, you know? So that's kind of how it came about. So I get it. I really do get it. Listen, I want you to know how honored I am to have you here today.
Thank you. And
just to sit here and like chop it up with you. I think the world of you and your talents, your writing talents, and just your commitment to being a leader in the tech space, the diversity space, and just waving the flag for all the women out here that are trying to get it done. Thank you for that.
I extremely appreciate you bringing me on the show. I had a great time, and I'm just going to keep, pushing the envelope and continue on inspiring people and pushing, all of us to just continue to dream big and not to play it safe. So,
that's what we expect from you. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So how can our listeners find the book?
The book actually is on Amazon if you want to download it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be opening up my online store on my website and selling the book too. So the website is going to be kanikatolver.com. So just my first and last name, kanikatolver.com. And you can also reach me on Twitter at Kanika Tolver, and you can reach me on Instagram at Kanika Tolver. See the consistency and the branding.
Yeah, the branding is lovely. The
LinkedIn, Kanika Tolver. So, I'm on Facebook as well at Kanika Tolver. I have a personal page and fan page. But yeah, reach out to me. I'd love to hear you guys, what you thought. You can comment also on the video. And we're going to be sharing the article actually on, on you guys' public page.
And on the Career Seekers feed as well. Hey, listen, I have a question for you. I was checking you on social media. I think it might have been your IG, and you have a professional speaking webinar, is it, or something coming up, or you're somewhere to talk to them?
Yeah, so professional webinar is actually going to be on May 6th. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. The topic of the webinar is going to be 5 ways to land speaking engagements through podcasting and blogging. So I'm going to be talking about my personal experiences of how I've been able to get radio interviews like this because someone saw my article on Glassdoor.
Yeah, exactly.
How I'm able to get a lot of interviews on podcast shows because of my writings, and then vice versa. I'm getting speaking engagements at conferences because I'm going to show you how to leverage your brand as an industry expert.
Gotcha. That's beautiful. Listen, Kanika Tolver, you got to hit her up. If you want more information about that webinar, I know I saw it on IG. I guess that's where people can catch it, right?
Yes, you can catch it. It's actually all over my Twitter.
Okay.
It's actually also on LinkedIn. But yeah, the Eventbrite, it's a free webinar, so I'll be online with you.
I love it. I love it. It's the Career Seekers Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia. This is what we do. We do it each and every Wednesday from 4 to 5, Kanika. They love us.